When I was working for a small advertising company, the office was small but brand new and clean building. It was already 5 years old when the company started to use it as an office. Before we moved to this building, we were working at the old office, despite the hot weather in the summer and the cold in the winter. Every time I go out to the other office, I envied for the clean building, the washrooms, and the comfortable air conditioners. However, it was a cozy environment. The employees were able to transmit their opinion directly to their CEO. Around then, it was getting busy, so he planned the business expansion and decided to relocate the office. The season was autumn. Since it wasn't during the busy period, he immediately found the ideal office, and the CEO himself went to see the building. The property was a bit small for business expansion, but this new building and the convenient location were pretty ideal. The price offered by the real estate agent to our CEO was the market price, and it was about the price he was expecting, so he decided to sign a contract right away. I heard the details of the property, but there was nothing to be suspicious. But there's just one thing. The real estate agent was complaining about those who were using this place before. They asked for the cancellation of the tenant contract. Right after that, they quickly escaped. Even during they prepare for moving, their luggage seemed to be minimum, and the moving seemed to be quite rough. The real estate agent took time to deal with the cancellation, and the new contract was almost finalized, so he told the CEO as a common laughing story. When the CEO, who was a little interested in the story, asked if this property actually has a problem, the real estate agent seemed to be used to it and denied. There was no suspicious story, and just in case, he exorcised this property. This CEO has no interest in those occult at all. He just wanted to get a discount if this property has a problem. But he decided to move this office immediately because he liked the place itself anyway. Because it was a small company, I started preparing to relocate the office by the beginning of the new year, and I was able to finish moving before the busy period. Not only the clean facilities, but also the better access reduced the commuting time. We were satisfied with the comfortness. Around spring, Senior, who was working at the opposite from my seat by the window, gradually became strange. The building was 12 floors, and our office was on the 7th floor. The office windows were pretty large, and by the windows were sunny and warm, which makes you sleepy. So at first, I thought he was falling asleep for a second, then jolt and woke up. But he didn't seem to fall asleep. More than anything, he was always looking down from the window. By that time, I was suspicious about his action and realized his strange movement was happening only on sunny days. His jolts were quite frequent. It was the first fall after our relocation. It had been fine sunny days. About him, he was concerning about outside every day. Looked like he was searching for something. Because he was doing a great job, even his CEO trusted him so much. But his mistakes have seen frequently. Also, he was getting skinny day by day. Some of them were concerned about him as well, so the CEO and I decided to ask him to go for a drink and seek what was going on. He said when the weather was nice, he sees something small jumping out of the window. At first, he thought those were flying insects or birds. However, every time he sees it, it looked like a human being, and every time he found it, it got larger. Around that summer, he could recognize its gender. Actually, it was she. Recently, he could even recognize her clothes and her face expressions. For some reason, this woman only fell in the daytime on a sunny day. The time was not always same, and he could clearly see her, but he could never remember only her face. It seemed that his jolt was a reaction when he found a woman jumping, and he was looking down through a window to find whereabouts. It was very unreal, but the CEO, who saw how exhausted this senior was, and the fact that ex-owner of this office cancelled the contract unnaturally, so he immediately believed the story. The CEO thought that he couldn't lose his capable employees, decided to relocate the office shortly afterwards, so I still don't know what that woman really was. No one committed suicide in this building, and no one else saw that woman. Fortunately, this relocation helped my senior to get back to himself and seemed better. Is the woman still jumping out of that building when the weather is nice?